Very pleased to announce that the Eccentric Man YouTube channel is being sponsored by Lost Ark Games in Stevenage. It's my local game store, and John, who works there, is one of my main opponents. Lost Ark Games have a real good variety of different things: board games, card games, war games, loads of different things, and they do online and in-store sales as well as gaming. However, at the moment, they're currently closed due to the COVID-19 lockdown, but that should end soon in December, early December, and they'll be back open again to take all your orders. Check out their link in the description below and see if there's anything you fancy. They can order in lots of different things from many different manufacturers if they haven't got it in stock. Greetings from the Eccentric Man, and today we have a small game, 730 points aside, taking place in the conservatory on a very windy and blustery day out today. I've got my son-in-law Phil coming round, so going to have a quick game. So we've got the Africa Corps and the British Commonwealth troops out to play. So we've got them set out ready to roll. 10 units for the British or the Commonwealth, and 9 for the DAC, the Africa Corps. So we're playing top secret, and the objective is there in the middle. The table mat is by Tiny War Games. The tents are from Renadra, and the objective in the middle are items from Fenris Games. You can find him online as well. So that's the table layout for today. The Commonwealth Army then. So from the left we've got a light mortar. We've got 3 normal sections of British infantry. Only gone for 8 men, and there's a light machine gun in them. We've got a regular lieutenant with his sidekick. We've got a 25 pounder. We've got a Marlon Harrington armoured car with 2 MMGs, and we've got a Bren gun, and we've got 5 veteran troops. I think that was the key part to that. So for the Germans, we went for, again, a regular lieutenant. We went for a medium mortar with a spotter. On our right, we went for the 8-rad armoured car, which has got the 20mm. We've got an anti-tank rifle team. We've got and then 3 units of here infantry, and we've got 1 unit of 5. The other ones are all 8s with LMG, and we've got a unit of 5 in the middle here. We've got a medium machine gun at the back, and that was 730 points for the Africa Corps. So similar sort of army put together, so it'd be interesting to see how it plays. We're playing it out on a 4x4 just because of space and because of the reduced numbers. Bit of a shame for Phil, right from the word go. He put his machine gun team just a little bit too far out on the left, run them on, and I was able to bring on the armoured car, and I killed 2 and put 1 pin on them. And unfortunately for Phil, for his leadership test, he rolled a 10. So it was bye-bye machine gun team. So a bit of an inauspicious start for Phil, I'm afraid. So in the first turn, and Phil brought on his armoured car as the recce advanced, and then has advanced on with the infantry. It's a little bit dark in here, so I'll perhaps put the light on in a minute. Yeah, so on they've come. Anti-tank rifle on that far left, medium mortar behind the palm trees. And as you saw, sadly for the Germans, the medium machine gun was taken out. So on my side of the board, I've brought on the infantry over here with a 25 pounder. I've got a light mortar, and the infantry coming up behind the 25 pounder spotter. Infantry unit travelling up the middle, and my officer and the Bren gun carrier over here. And remembering that the objective is that in the middle. So that's what we're looking for. And so end of turn 1 and first blood to the British. End of turn 2, and Phil's been a little bit more lucky on this side. I have, however, caused some of his troops to go down, so the armoured car took a shot at the veterans and the veterans went down, and I only managed to get a pin on them. So that was a desired effect for me, but also for Phil. He's saved some troops there. He's advanced up the infantry unit into the centre as a response to my Sikhs moving up to the objective. The other here unit came through into the palm trees and took a shot at the unit, but failed to put a pin on them, so we were okay to move them up and advance quite quickly. I'm supporting them with the second Sikh unit on this side, and yeah, 25 pounder over here fired at the here unit behind the barbed wire, and that forced them to go down as well. It was a 5 or a 6 to hit that, and Phil thought that was a little bit risky. But what did Phil do? Well, on his first ranging in shot for the mortar, he got one of those lucky 6s. And he had also hit it with the armoured car. So not only was it stunned from the armoured car, which gave it 2 pins, it's now hit by the mortar, which only needs a 2 to hit it next turn. And it also put on 4 pins. So it's not going anywhere. And whether it will survive, I don't know. So Phil's, if he gets the first dice, he's going to have to think carefully what he wants to do. But that could be a priority target. So, yeah, end of turn 2. I'm in contact with the objective. So Phil's got to turf me off. But, so we can see there, that's where they are. They could be dead, because there's quite a lot of firepower. But I'm hoping that I can reinforce as the turns go through. Anyway, into turn 3. First dice out, luckily, was for the British. So I've got a chance. There's 4 pins. I've got an officer within 6, so that gives me a +1. It's regular, so 9 down to 5, up to 6. So I need a 6 or less to get it to actually move. So that is 2d6, needing 6 or less. My only chance for it to escape. Oh, that was a big loud bang. Okay, 6 or less. No. So it goes down, it doesn't move, and Phil's got a good chance now of knocking it out. Still a little bit rusty with the rules, but people can tell me if I'm wrong, but I've had a little look through the books, and because it failed its leadership test, it's a vehicle, so it reverses with a down order. And if that's the case, it's a Bren carrier and it has recce, so it will move at full speed away. So that'll be a 9 inches away, so it is actually saved by failing its leadership test and going down and reversing. So I think that is the case. End of turn 3, and vying for position. Of course, the Sikhs in the centre went down, and they've taken a bit of a punishment for hits. They've now got 3 pins, and that was a result of the unit in the palm trees, the 8-rad, and the other unit in the gap there. I've tried to put some damage back, so I missed with the anti-tank rifle on the little anti-tank rifle team in the woods. They missed, which was a shame really. And I advanced up my light mortar, and he's taken a shot at the 8-rad and missed on the first one, but we arranged in needing a 5 next turn. The anti-tank rifle team missed the armoured car, so I didn't even put a pin on them, and I've used my veterans to take a shot at the anti-tank rifle, and we couldn't kill anyone, but we did put a pin. The veterans went down behind the palm trees because I targeted them with the armoured car. What have we got over here? The 25 pounder is ranged in on the infantry units that are in the palm trees. So I need a 5 to hit them next turn. Phil needs a 5 to hit this unit here because they went down. So they're going to take a lot of punishment next time, but we have got reserves moving up to try and support them. This unit of Sikhs took a shot at those here behind the sandbags. Couldn't hit them at all. So that was a little problem. No pins whatsoever. Yeah. So, and then the armoured car, which failed its leadership test and reversed with a down order. But it's got 4 pins, so we'll try and rally that off next turn, and we'll see if this works. So, going to move into turn 4. I think I was quite lucky in that turn. Phil's targeted the unit in the centre, but just wasn't able to kill very many. So I've still got 6 men left, but we're on 4 pins. The left-hand flank is a bit more secure. Sadly for Phil, his anti-tank rifle team didn't put a pin on the Lanchester, and my veterans charged in and killed them. We've targeted the guys in the middle, but I couldn't kill anyone, so that was 10 shots at the veterans, and I only managed to put a pin on. But anyway, that was 1 pin, more than I could have hoped. Well, I hoped for more. However, the armoured car in the centre is taking a bit of pain now. Hit it with the mortar on a 6, so that's targeted and ranged in for the next turn. And there's quite a lot of pins there, so Phil's going to have to try and work out what he's going to do with that one. The units in the middle there and to the left fired at the centre units, and as I say, they didn't do too vast amount of damage, but the pins are still coming along. This unit over here took a shot over here, and I put them down, but they still killed a couple and took 1 pin. So yeah, 2 dead from that section, 2 dead from the centre section, 2 dead from the veterans on the far left. And we did hit with the anti-tank rifle, which was really good. I was surprised, because it needed a 5 to hit, and then I rolled a 6 to, no, it needed a 4 to hit, so that was it. And then I got a 6 for the penetration hit, which took it up to 8, but it was long range, brought it down to 7, so 7 on the front. It was superficial hit, and it stunned the vehicle and put it down. So that was a problem for the armoured car on that. It was a lucky 6 to get a superficial hit. So moving into turn 5 now, and I'm still holding the objective, so Phil may have to do a bit of charging with his infantry to try and get me off of it. I forgot to say that we managed to rally all the pins off of the Bren carrier, so that's coming back into action this turn.
Well, in the words of Warren Zevron, I took a little risk. Now send me lawyers, guns and money, Dad. Get me out of this. I advanced up with my Sikh infantry, and I was a little bit too bold. And Phil fired and killed 3, which took them to half strength, which means you need a leadership test. But on top of that, he rolled 1 6 and then rolled a 6 for exceptional damage. And it was undenying of who he could choose. So as Phil's fairly new with this, I said to him, well, you want to kill the NCO because that reduces their morale by -1. So they've got 1 pin, loss of an NCO, that takes them from 9 as their regulars down to 7. But I do have an officer there, which was within 6, so he pluses 1 back. So on my dice roll for the leadership, I'm looking for getting 7 or under. So let's see what we can get.
Over to our dice rolling tray, because we've got a new dice rolling tray. We bought this from Glenbrook Games, and I'll put a link for them. 7. So they were initially leadership 9, They've got 2 pins, takes them down to 7. So, good. One would take them back up to 8 because of the officer. So, 7 pins, so 7 rolled. We've passed our leadership test. But there's not very many of them left. Getting very dangerous for the gallant Sikhs in the centre. They're down to 3 men. They've got the mortar ranged in on a 2 next turn, and they're down and they're on 8 pins. So if I get the first dice, I could perhaps rally them. However, what I've done is I've advanced up the Muslim infantry to reinforce. Phil's moved up with this unit here to put the pressure on them and to try and get into the contact with the objective to try and knock my people off. We're going round on the left flank with the infantry who got rid of the anti-tank gun. They charged in the previous turn. So they're moving round and put another pin on and killed one of the veterans over there. The officer team legged it all the way around here because they weren't going to get caught by my veterans. The armoured car, Phil had a difficult decision. Either leave it where it was and rally, and it was going to be a sitting duck for first dice off because I got the light mortar which is ranged in on it. So we needed a 6 with the dice, 6 or under, to get it to move, but failed it sadly. So it reversed, keeping its pins. So that was a bit of a shame. And on this side, yeah, I did the little video. They did take a bit of a hammering, but fortunately they just held in. And of course we've rallied all the pins off the Bren carrier, so he's coming in. It was a little bit of a risk with those ones there, and I think I probably moved them up a turn too soon. But anyway, yep, gonna get a bit messy, gonna stop for a bite to eat now. It won't be any difference in your viewing, but for us it's going to be a 30 minutes break at least. So back for turn 5, I think, turn 6. Have to work out what it is. This is pretty close. We're at the end of getting towards, well, it is the last dice of turn 6, and we'll wrap up a little bit more after this. But as you can see, I haven't got any British within 3 inches of that objective. So at the end of the turn, Phil would claim it.
We could possibly go into turn 7.
And we might contest things depending on how the dice rolls run. But I've got the last dice of the turn. And for the last dice of the turn, I've got a 25 pounder, which didn't have a target until Phil charged my light mortar team, killed them, and gave me the target. So now I'm going to shoot at the unit. It's pretty close range, so I need a 3. And it's a 2.
These came back from a search.
I've got no idea why Bixby has just spoken to me. That is very strange. Anyway, so that last shot with a 25 pounder didn't work. So that means that there's 2 units there. I've only got 1 chance now.
If we roll and I go on to turn 7.
Phil, roll a dice in the middle and see if it comes up a 4, 5 or a 6. 3. It finishes. So, Phil, you take the win there. For the Africa Corps, they get the goodies in the centre of the objective. Well done. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, I really didn't think I was going to win at the end.
No.
So it's a thoroughly enjoyable game once again. But I really thought that you had me. If it hadn't been for those good charges.
Wasn't sure what to do with that unit to put it down because they couldn't shoot you. It just wasn't an option. I didn't have enough for some reason to be able to get them into the centre to stack it. I don't know why. I shall have to think about it. Whether I've held things back too soon. Probably threw away that unit of Indians.
that were over here. I put them forward possibly a turn too soon because I didn't have the support of the Bren carrier to take more people out from behind that sandbank, the sandbags. And of course, I don't think the armoured car did enough damage within it. But anyway, yeah, no, that was good. Good little fun game. 730 points on a 4x4 table. Very little armour, just 2 armoured cars and the Bren carrier. Excellent. Worked really well, I thought. What went wrong for the British at the end there? Well, I think we've just been chatting back, and Phil's lucky 6 at the beginning really dented that Bren carrier and the approach on the right for me, because there wasn't very much that was going to hold it back, but that mortar hit really did give it a bit of a bonk to stop it, which was a shame really for me. And then Phil was sort of holding things back. His ploy was to, what was your ploy again, Phil?
I didn't want to be the first in the middle. I wanted to sort of position some people kind of in an arc and rain down some fire on whoever was first here.
Well, that certainly worked. They did hold on for a long time.
They did.
But unfortunately for me, I couldn't get another big unit into support. I think I probably threw this one away. Not having the support of the armoured car sooner, because it had that reverse with the down order, which meant I had to try and bring it back again. So it couldn't use the LMG to support it, and they were a little bit out in the open and took a risk, a penalty. The officer's missing in the middle, trying to put a second pin onto the infantry unit and failing. That would have sort of stacked it a little bit more. And also the 2, when only a 3 was required for the 25 pounder, was a pain. That didn't help. Because in turn 7, if there was one, I would have fired the 25 pounder again at them. So I was hoping that might hit them, but you would probably go down. So that could halve the casualties. And I would have advanced up the Manchester to shoot this unit here. That probably would have put another... you might have gone down, but that might have got rid of those. But you still had, hanging out, this unit here in the tents, which could have got within 3 inches. Possibly even is within 3 inches now. I don't know. How far's that unit there?
Oh.
Yeah, just about 3 inches, I'd say. Yeah, I would have given that. Yeah. So they probably were in contact with it anyway. So I would have had to have killed them.
Yeah.
And I can't see them dying for that. Anyway, so that was it. I just didn't have enough big units in the centre. Squandered them, I think, a little. And the decision on there whether to have them as ambush or whether to have them as down. Tricky one with the numbers that we're going to charge. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the battle. We certainly did. There's 2 more bolt action videos coming up, and they are all going to be around the Marianas and Palau campaign book. We've played 2 games of that, the first scenario and the second scenario for Saipan, and we'll be delving into the campaign book itself. In the meantime, you can have a check out of South Wales Warlords, a new podcast. They're probably about 6 podcasts in now, but they cover it in a lot of detail, the campaign book. So give them a check out, and you'll find the link in the description below. The second lockdown in the UK is a real pain for getting games going, but I've got a couple of new projects sorted out. A Fallschirmjäger 1940 platoon, and also an American Civil War army for rebels and patriots at least. We're nearly finished our 10mm American Civil War. We've got 10 units of American Unionists and 10 units of... and 2 more units of Confederates to paint up to make that up to 10. So that's coming along as well, quite nicely. Anyway, those are the videos that are coming up. I'll do a proper roundup of an update video for what's going on for the Eccentric Man, because there's been a little bit of time since the last one. If you'd like a new dice rolling tray, have a check out of Glenbrook Games' website. You'll see that he does a different selection of inserts. He did one for me. He had my logo in his system, so he was able to do that. But check them out. Check the description down below. Anyway, take care and keep yourself safe. And until the next one, bye-bye.